Yo, what's good guys? How are we all doing? Hope you're doing well. What have we got for you today? We have got my 4-2-3-1 updated tactics guide. A lot of you guys have been heavily requesting this video. I know you have given me some fantastic feedback on my previous formation videos, and a lot of you have been using them and still using them to this day, and getting great results with them. But I've changed it quite a lot since the last 4-2-3-1 a good few months ago, when basically the last patch where they said they were actually changing in games came out. So I've been running this one now for the last 5 weeks. I've tweaked it. I'm in Division 1 with it. I've got back up to Division 1 from like being relegated, doing objectives, like from Division 2, Division 3, for example. Staying in Division 1 with this tactic now for 2-3 weeks, no problems at all, working really well. I've got elite with this tactic. I comfortably get Gold 1, Gold 2 when I just want to get it done and get out and, you know, stop at like 17 and 1, 17 and 2, 20 and 3, for example. Working really well. I'm really happy with it. And the good thing about it is I've tried to make it really balanced, something that any level of player can use, whether they're silver, gold or elite, and it will work for, I think, the vast majority of people, and it's really easy to adapt to people's teams that they've got, the players they've got at this stage, and various different game styles as well. So let's get into it. I'm going to jump straight into the tactic. I'm not going to give you in-game footage because I'm going to be uploading a lot more videos soon now with gameplay footage. I'll probably do a video on how to best use the 4-2-3-1 with this tactic and showing you, different game plans, how in the game, different build-ups, different passing styles, different ways of working it, and how I play with it. And I'm going to keep bringing you more and more tutorials and tactics and content over the next few weeks, as well as I look to give you more uploads on the YouTube channel. So let's get into the tactic. We'll jump into the custom tactics. Just a quick thing to note here, on whatever your tactic you start with, make sure you put a little bit in. So I put 4 width, 4 depth and drop back, just to make sure if I do make a sub or it takes a bit of time to change, I'm not going to get caught out in the first few minutes of a game. Just something to bear in mind, that the default tactic before you change in game when the game plans is set up to limit the damage that your opponent may do. Right, I have it set as my defensive one. It's not a defensive one, it's my balanced game plan. It's the one that I use probably 90% of the time. I very rarely change. I've got a 4-4-2 that I use to get back into games, and it's like full send, but I will do a separate video on that. And I do have a tactic to see out a game, but I very rarely use it. So this tactic is really, really well rounded. Okay, here we go. So defensive style, balanced for the tactic. I find it's just the best one. Balanced is obviously, like it says, team presses the ball into the middle of the pitch even, and keeps your team shape neutral. It's just works really, really well. I've tried drop back, I've tried pressure every touch, I've tried press after possession loss, constant pressure. They all have the flaws, whereas balanced, you have total control over what you do, so I use balanced. Width 4 and depth 3 is the happy medium after they took over the ball side out of the game. Having width 4 allows your defence to come a little bit narrower in game, while still having a little bit of width to make sure that you can react to people going down the wings and trying to overload on the sides and catch you out, as well as packing out the centre of the park when the players do eventually come into the middle of the park to attack you. Depth 3, again, I've gone between 5, 3, 4, 2, 1. I've done them all, and 3 for me is the best one by far. It makes them sit just at the right point for you to soak up a little bit of pressure, but put the pressure on the attackers and the cams if you need to. You can use your offside track really well with it as well, really effectively, because they are a little bit deeper, and you can use your offside track to push them up really quick if you want them to. It's just a really nice step to have, especially with the game meta and how people play, and to stop people from counter attacking you and playing down the wings as well. It works very, very well. Onto my offensive style. Again, balanced. Well, you're rocking balanced. Works really well. No issues whatsoever with it. Like it says, players will support and make runs when they think it's the right time. I generally use LB and RB to instruct my players to make runs as well, and I do the 1-2 passing. So as long as you're controlling the runs, and it will make runs as well. You know, balanced is the best, again, of all worlds. Long ball, fast build up and possession, all offer different things, but we will probably look at them another time and look at what these things do and how they affect this tactic. But again, I've gone back to balance. It works best for me. I find it works best for this formation as well. With 5, this one you can kind of have a play with it. As you can imagine, 5 is the best of all worlds again. You know, it offers you the attacking options on the wide when you want to break out and when you want to get in behind and try and get them sweat goals that we all know what happen in weekend league. And it also allows your Lamb and Ram to come in a little bit more in centre when you do come inside and get into the box and create more chances as well. 4's pretty good as well. 4's good if you play a lot more through the middle of the park. You rely less on running down the wing and cutting inside, and you like to, you know, do a little bit more tiki-taka and have almost 3 strikers sometimes with the Lamb and the Ram. So you can use either 4 or 5 there. Try both, see which works best for you. I switch between both because I can play either way. But I think for most people, 5 is probably going to be the best one. So start with that and then maybe try a few on 4 and see how you find it. But as a rule of thumb, 5 is best. Players in the box, I have it on 6 because you all know when you break on your opponent, or you're running on the wing, or when you've got the ball on the outside of the box, you need as many players as you can overloading that box without having high risk to a counter attack. Having it on 6 allows you to get a few more players into the box without sacrificing your defensive frailties and getting countered, and allows you to try and break down some of these drop back rats that you were playing and 10 men behind the ball. It's a really good setting to have it on. I really like this setting. Again, I've used 4, I've used 5, and I always go back to 6 because of what it does offer me inside the box. Corners 1. Why do I have it on 1? I say this every video. His corners aren't great on this game. I always play it short. I very rarely do it across in the box. So if you ever do get caught out, the last thing you want to do is concede a goal from a corner, just because they are really ineffective this year. So I have it on 1. So I only need a couple players in the box in the corner, a couple of passes, and you're going to score, work it back out and start again. So you don't want to get caught out. So 1 I find works best for this. 2 on free kicks again, because free kicks are very similar to corners. They're not great. They're very average this year, so you don't want to cut out, but you do obviously want a few more players supporting your free kicks and attacking, as they're not as high risk as corners. So that is the instructions for the tactics and how I set up. I will now move on to the play instructions and talk about that as well. Right, so this is how I line up in game with my team on the 4-2-3-1. As you can see, I've got Alisson in net, I've got Militao, Luis as a centre back, Tellers at left back, Haaland at right back, I've got Fernandinho, Kevin De Bruyne as my CDMs, Neymar as my cam, Aubameyang as my lamb, Saint Maximin as my ram, and Kylian Mbappe as my striker. Let's get on to the instructions. So we're going to start with the striker, right? So this is how we use my striker on a 4-2-3-1, right? One of the main aims of the 4-2-3-1 is to get it into your striker in the box. You want your striker in the box, getting it in a position where you can turn left or turn right and shoot and score. Bear in mind, you want to make sure you've got a player with a minimum 4-star weak foot, ideally 5-star weak foot, such as Yedder, Mbappe, Neymar, and so on. You can always jump on Footbin and search players with 5-star weak foot and have a look. If you can get one with 4-star skills as well, just give you that little bit of edge when you do get the ball. If you need to do a little skill, or you need to work a little space, you have got sufficient skills available to that player to use. But I mean, I'm quite lucky. I've got Mbappe. He's 5-star, 5-star, unbelievable. So what I have target man. That's it. And the reason I do this, when you set target man, I find that with this, as it says, it backs into opponent and has the ball to feet. So doing this allows you to have your striker stay in the middle with his back to the player or back to the goal, or in a position where if you play it into him at the right time after working it, creating the space, trying your best to make the little pockets of gaps in between the centre backs and the CDMs that I'm sure they put into defence. I play that all the time. I'm sure you guys do as well. You want the ball into Mbappe, for example, or Yedder, and you want to be able to turn left and right, so a little ball roll or a fake shot ball roll to the left to the right to allow you to work that space to shoot. And having target man works really well for the 4-3-1 for you to do this. It keeps your striker in that central position. It generally keeps him with his back to the defenders and back to the goal, allowing you to play it to the feet, allowing you to turn left or right and shoot and score. So give it a go. I know a lot of people don't use this. It is really an underestimated tactic. It works really, really well, and I've used it now for as long as I can remember. A lot of my taxes, I've used target man on a lot of the tactics that I've put on YouTube as well. Right, on to the lambs and the cams. So my cam, I have come back on defence, balanced crossing runs, attitude position and no interceptions. Again, I just want my cam to support the defence a little bit when the players are countering you or what you are defending, just to give Fernandinho and De Bruyne that extra bit of support in that central area, just to pack it out and try and win the ball back as quickly as possible. My lamb on my ram, come back on defence and get into the box across, stick to position default and no interceptions. I do this for a couple of reasons. I have get into the box of the cross just for them occasions where you do get down the wings and you're able to play the ball across goal. You are also in a situation where you're playing it across the middle, working with your CDMs and your cam to create chances, and you want them extra players getting in the box to overload the opponent when they are playing with a lot of players back and sitting back, and you're trying to work the space, you're trying to create the space for Mbappe, you want to pull defenders out of positions. Having your Llama Ram get in the box across will allow you to do that and create more chances and openings and space for your other players, such as your cam or your striker, which will be in the box, and increase your opportunity to score that sweat goal. Right, onto the CDMs. My CDMs, I have on cut passing lanes, stay battle attacking, no interceptions and cover centre. I have them on cut passing lanes because I find this is the most effective way to win the ball back. Obviously with AI assistance, so strong this year, if you have them on cut passing lanes, the AI will naturally just get the ball for you without you even doing that much, allowing you to control Neymar, for example, or just one of these two CDMs and let the other CDM just kind of do his thing and put him into position and let the computer cut the passing lane for you, or you can switch to him and cut the passing lane because they'll be in the right position to do that. Stable attacking with two CDMs. Some people like to do one unbalanced and one stay back. I have mine both on stay back because I build my play up quite slow. I work through from my defence, from the fullbacks into the CDMs, out to the wings. I'll go back to the CDMs again, bring them in. I will manually bring my CDMs into the play. Very often you'll see my gameplay De Bruyne and Fernandinho in and around Neymar in the competitions because I work it up. I tell them to come forward. I do the 1-2 passing to instruct to come forward. So I want to know that when I have done using De Bruyne and Fernandinho, that they're going to go back into position and stop any counters. So I must stable attacking for that reason. Cover centre because we have got Set Maxim and Aubameyang and the Lamb and the Ram coming back on the defence to support the left back and right back for breaks and people going down the wings. So there's no need for him to go anywhere apart from staying in that centre position, covering the passing lanes and at brick wall to defend your two centre backs. Okay, the full backs. I have them on stable attacking. This is pretty standard. I think there's virtually nobody on FIFA that I know of that doesn't do this. Most people do this now. As I've said before, I regularly use the D-pad instruction to put attacking fullbacks on if I need to get them into the play. If I find my opponent's sitting really deep, I will switch on attacking fullbacks, which will override this and get them to come forward and come into the play. So you may as well not stay back because you can switch in game with the D-pad instructions and get them involved if you need to. Also on the flip side, when you've got Alexander-Arnold and Telles that are really fast, really good on the ball, you can manually use them players, move them forward, instruct them to make runs and involve them in the play anyway. This year, a really big thing is, involving all your players, you building up your play and making the players come forward. Having that step up attacking instruction will then allow them to go straight back into that position. You don't have to worry about them. You don't have to worry about your opponent breaking and getting, down the sidelines and getting in behind your fullbacks and scoring the sweat goals. And they've added extra support of the Lamb and the Ram as well, coming back supporting them. And this goes in line with us having 4 width. So the reason why we have 4 width on the defence is because we do have Aubameyang and a St Maxim, the Lamb and the Ram, coming back on defence. That means that your right back and left back can sit a little bit more narrower, because you're going to be defending with your Lamb and the Ram, nerfing a lot of your opponent's attacks down that wing, or the right wing or left wing, for example. And the final one is your goalkeeper. I would only recommend doing this if you have got a goalkeeper like Alisson, or a keeper that is known to be a sweeper keeper. And I think Alisson actually has the trait sweeper keeper, and maybe even comfort crosses as well. I had this comfort crosses on when I had Van der Sar, because that was a trait of his and it worked really well. So I have my keeper on comfort crosses and sweeper keeper. Again, I've had it on this for a long time. It's worked really well for me. It's never caused me any issues, and it's effective with Alisson. Maybe that's the reason why I actually like Alisson. A lot of people don't like Alisson, but I really like him. Maybe it's because of these settings. Maybe they do improve the way he plays and how good he is for me. But yeah, that's whatever. My goalkeeper. Give it a go, see what you think. If not, go back to the normal settings for your keeper and apply the rest of the settings for the rest of the formation. There we go. That is my 4-2-3-1 settings. All my tactics, all my play instructions, everything I do and why. Make sure you give it a go, get it set up at the start of the week, get practicing rivals, play some friendlies, get ready for the weekend. Apparently it's League Run this weekend, so you want to get ready, you want to have the best preparation you can to get your best finish of the year. Everyone wants a Neymar, everyone wants a Mbappe, everyone wants a Yedda. Do you know what I mean? You want to go all out this weekend, guys. So make sure you set it up, get used to it. Get your team set up for it as well, to make sure you've got the right players in the right positions as well, to make sure it's as effective as it can possibly be. Also, don't forget to check out my control settings and camera settings. I uploaded a video last week with all that in. I will link it in the video, which should be coming down below now, you know, just down here somewhere. Check that out, put all the control settings in and the camera settings in, and get this tactic set up and give it a go, guys. Let me know what you think as well. Let me know how you get on. Let me know how you get on the weekend league. Put it in the comments below. I love seeing all your comments down below, hearing how much these videos help you, how much the formations improve your game and things like that. And a lot of the other videos have had some fantastic feedback, so please do leave a comment down below. It means a lot, and you know, it helps me shape future videos as well when you do comment on and say, Sarah, I'd love to see this, what do you think about this? Any questions as well, put them down below and I'll get back to you and answer them as well. Take care everyone, and good luck in weekend league. Go and get your best finish of the year. Smash it, guys. Take care.